And we are live. Hello, if there's anybody out there. This is Danielle, Celestial Piper, Soldier of the Watch, and we have a special guest today. Finally, after it took me a while to figure out how to do this stuff, Sharnie from That Crohn's Chick. Welcome, girl.
Thank you so much for having me on. Hi,
I'm
everyone.
excited to have you on. It's about time.
Uh-huh.
So this is pretty much going to be a very laid back interview. Probably not. What? Hold up. So this is pretty much going to be my thing just came on, and I did not want it to. Interview. Probably not.
There we go.
It's like I forgot to mute it. Anyway, I didn't do that the first time I used it, which is hilarious. So as I was saying, this is going to be pretty much a laid back interview. I'm really just going to pretty much sit back and say, go with it, girl. So basically, I just want you to tell our peoples, and I say our peoples because I see us as a big group, and tell them your experience and exactly how it all started with you and finding out about getting Crohn's disease and your experience with it.
Okay. Hi, Carolyn. I can see your messages. How it started. Wow. Okay. So about 5-6 years ago, I started getting really, really sick, just lots of stomach pain and nausea and all this other fun stuff. Yeah, so I was seeing my doctor. They couldn't seem to pinpoint what it was. I got referred to a gastroenterologist. They're the only ones that can diagnose you with Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, which comes under the same umbrella as IBD. And so I went and saw a gastroenterologist, and it took him about almost 2 years to get me diagnosed. Because he thought that was
for that.
Yeah, because he thought it was just stress and diet related. Thought I had IBS. I was like, great. Anyway, we eventually got diagnosed. Got the diagnosis, and started medications and treatment from there. So technically, I've been diagnosed for almost 4 years, but I've had it for about 6 years. And for those who don't know, IBD, like inflammatory bowel disease, which includes Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, is a autoimmune disease. So your immune system malfunctions and starts attacking the good bacteria and cells in your gut. That's what it does. And so you take medication to try and suppress the immune system so it, stops it doing that, pretty much. Yeah.
So 2 years.
2 years, yeah, almost 2 years, and I was sick before that as well. So it took ages.
Yeah,
which is not, it's not unusual, is it?
No, it's not. And a person like me, as I was saying, has no patience for that, especially when you're feeling bad.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for me to tell because I've had a long history of like mental health and eating disorders and all of that. So it's kind of hard for me to tell until I just started ending up in hospital constantly. So it's like, okay, something's going on and it's not going away. So obviously there's something else, that's something new. But it was a crazy time. It was just really crazy, stressful time. It still has its moments now, but I definitely feel like I'm in a lot more control of it now than what I was, even just a year or two ago. Yeah. Hi, Nightblade.
Wow. There's gotta be a way to diagnose people a lot quicker with this stuff. I mean, not even just Crohn's, just all together with autoimmune stuff and all. I mean, they're so quick to just go, you got fibromyalgia. Now, I'm not knocking fibromyalgia. There's a lot of us that have it, and it usually goes with the autoimmune disease, but it should not take 2+ years to find out, because a lot of these autoimmune diseases can mean life and death. So it really pisses me off. Just saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to do endoscopies and colonoscopies, which is the only way to diagnose IBD. So, because I didn't have private health insurance and I'm on the public healthcare system, which is pretty good. Admittedly, I'm in Australia, so we got a decent healthcare system
Well,
here.
that's good.
Yeah, if you're gonna be sick anywhere in the world, Australia is a pretty good place to be sick. We're pretty good. But yeah, no, eventually this got to a point where I was in hospital just too much, and I started getting blood as well, which is always a bad sign. Especially when you're getting it frequently and going to the bathroom upwards of 20 times a day, and it was just awful. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't live. So eventually they're like, right, we do have to, we've done everything else. We've checked everything else. This is the last thing we have to check. So we did it, and they're like, oh, your whole colon's inflamed. Shocker. I'm like, I could have freaking told you that.
Right. That's how it was with me with Sjogren's. I knew I had Sjogren's. I knew it. And that was back when I was in my 20s. Now we're looking at 20 something years now. It took like 2 years ago for me to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, there's so much that isn't known about chronic health. It seems to be like this massive, shocking sort of thing. Like a lot of doctors aren't trained in chronic health. It's specialists, and specialist waiting lists are enormous and hard to get onto. So it's just, no matter at which point you kind of go into the healthcare system, no matter where you are in the world, you kind of just put on a list. It's not really addressed. And yeah, so there's a whole bunch of issues there. There should, be more funding for medical professionals. There should be less big pharma weighing in on how things should be done. There's a whole debate that we could get into there.
What I was thinking. So
yeah, there's a whole bundle of fun that we could get into there. But at the end of the day, if the doctors don't have the money and aren't given the time to take care of their patients, they literally just have to do what they can, and they've got to treat the emergency patients first, the ones that are literally like going to die, which unfortunately means the rest of us just have to suffer and get to a point where our health is beyond our control. We don't have life before it's like, okay, now we're in an emergency situation. We could have avoided this with self-care X amount of years ago. It's just a very backwards system at the moment. And if they started just, more self-care for patients, it would reduce hospital visits. It would get people diagnosed on the right medications. So, oh well, that's a whole other topic.
No, but it's a good one though. Sorry, I just got this little pop-up from a friend of mine who may be in the chat room, and it's super cute. So I got but that it plays a big role. I mean, just the stuff that's being done in our skies, the stuff that's being done in our food, which actually reminds me, since we're on this topic, if you don't mind, I'm going to share something. So bear with me. I'm going to share my screen. I should still have it up on my thing here.
Mm-hmm.
If it'll come up. I may have knocked it out. I did. Oh, darn. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I saw it. Nightblade had sent this to me, and I thought I saw it. There was this article. Oh, wait a minute. Dang it. There was an article on Bayer. Yeah, here we go. The media turns against Monsanto. Bayer facing snowball effect of lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
So in this article, guys, it's on naturalnews.com. They actually are showing that they've been putting chemicals like Agent Orange and things like that into our food supply and stuff like that. So I don't know about it over where you are, because I know you guys have a lot of really great laws and stuff against like gluten and things like that, which is
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, sorry. Now to get back over here. I do know how to use a computer. Oh, here we go. All right. Nope, wrong thing. Okay. Now let's take my screen share off. I'll get used to this, guys. I really will. Okay. All right, we good now? um, can you hear me all right?
My neighbors are getting a bit loud.
Oh.
Okay. I'm hoping they're just having a bit of fun and not having like a massive argument.
Oh. Do they typically argue?
No. Yeah. Anyway, they're not normally here. She tends to go to her partner's place, so I don't know what their dynamic is like. But it's just interesting that it's raised voices. I'm assuming because it's a Friday night here that they might be having a bit of fun, but just got a bit loud. Anyway, none of my business.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, so apparently there's like this big lawsuit or whatever because this Monsanto guy, and I don't know if that's going to cause my broadcast to start getting all weird, because you know how that is. But apparently, there's been threats made to people if they, speak out on it and stuff like that. Well, it looks like it's come back to bite them in the butt.
Good.
Yeah. So how about that? We've had chemicals going in our food.
Shocking. I'm so surprised. Surprise, surprise. Shock. Horror.
It's just terrible. Terrible. How could they do this? We've known for years. I mean, a lot of us that are woke up to this crap has known for years. And everybody's just like, oh, they would never do that. Yeah. Has anybody looked at the Georgia Guidestones? Just saying. We got a whole laundry list of things that want to be done. But anyway, let's do some positive out there. I had the most beautiful sky yesterday that I got to look at while I was just chilling outside, meditating and all that stuff. It didn't look real.
Yeah.
These clouds were just like so poofy,
Beautiful.
And then of course later you had to see all the sky writing go on. But I got to enjoy it while I could.
Oh, that's awesome, honey.
Yay. So if you don't mind me asking, you had mentioned, and I know there's a lot of people out there. I did have a little touch of bulimia myself years ago.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was only a little touch of it, and it didn't get like out of control. But I was wondering if you would talk a little bit more of that, if you don't mind. If you're not comfortable with it, it's great too. So.
No, I'm very open about it. What did you want to know about bulimia? Anything specific, or just
maybe what led you there, how you've overcome it, or are you still struggling here and there sometimes? Because it's really an addiction in a way.
It is.
So.
Basically, I've had all of my health and all of that. Before I got Crohn's disease and the physical health issues I have now, I had mental health. I've had very severe PTSD, chronic anxiety, and bouts of depression for years, since I was a kid, due to some trauma I had very early in my childhood. And then, unfortunately, as I got older, those traumas were reinforced. So yeah, for growing up, I was mostly anorexic. until I was about 13, 14. I think when I was about 15, I started purging. I started doing that, controlling the way I ate, because I think I was around more people. I was dating someone at the time. And so I couldn't hide the not eating as well. As, so doing the, binge eating and then purging was, much better. So I spent pretty much almost half my life being anorexic, and then almost 10 years, just under 10 years being bulimic. Because that was my way of just trying to cope with what was going on up here and trying to have some kind of control
That's
of my
what it's
environment. Yeah, it's about control at the end of the day. I'm an ex-drug addict as well. I used to do a lot of drugs to try and cope with the mental health. Alcoholism, smoking, anything that would help. Everything pretty much short of heroin, I've probably tried it. Except for pharmaceutical meds, I haven't been addicted to anything like that. Anyway, I digress. Being bulimic was a way of me trying to control at least something in my environment. And so that stopped actually around the time that I started getting sick with Crohn's. Because the Crohn's had it hit my body really hard and it hit it really fast. And I got sick very quickly. I was in a lot of pain. It was like having almost like perpetual gastro and food poisoning at the same time. And you have that for months and months and months when you're having a flare up. And so I was already nauseated and vomiting, and I was expecting that my bulimia would get worse because of constant nausea, like it would be easier for me to do it. But it actually has helped me stop, funnily enough, because when I vomit now, it hits my body so much harder and I can't just walk it off.
Right.
Like it causes a lot more pain and I can't eat properly for days. And, so it's actually my existing, when my physical health started to decline, that's actually when I started overcoming the bulimia. I do have little moments here and there where the temptation is pretty strong. I won't even know I'm doing it. That's the fear as well. It's a automatic habit that I have for such a long time. Like today, I almost did it today. I was literally, I went and bought some groceries and I bought pasta and meatballs, and I've completely forgotten that pasta used to be one of those foods that I would binge eat and then I would throw it up.
Right.
I bought that today, and because I haven't had it in weeks, I was like, I had 2 bowls full of pasta this afternoon. So good. And I wasn't thinking about purging. That wasn't on the mind at all. I was just like, I just really want pasta. But then I had the second bowl and I was lying down. I'm like, oh, I feel really sick. And I was just feeling a bit bleh. And I was like, oh, I could just go throw it up. And I was like, no. Unless your body forces you to do it, you do not go and force yourself to throw up.
Right.
So, even today I had a moment where I had the thought, maybe I could just go and throw it up. So no, bulimia, eating disorders of any kind are very, very tricky to deal with, because working out what your triggers are for them, it can be hard. It's not just about how you feel about your appearance. It is about control. And mine is tied into my anxiety, and it's tied into the way I look. It's the way I want people to see me and physically how I look. And no, but definitely much better with it now. And funnily enough, it was actually my Crohn's disease that helped me stop.
Blessings in disguise. Horrible to see it as a blessing, but
it is. I count my disease as a blessing. Totally. I'd be dead right now. I'd be drugged up and absolutely not doing what I'm doing now if I didn't get diagnosed with Crohn's. I'd be in a whole different path. So maybe not drugged up. I don't know. I was pretty switched on before I got Crohn's. I was starting to get away from it. But my diseases and my health issues have helped me stay off it. That's the trick. So, yeah.
That's good. That just goes to show you when you have, a bad situation, it can be used for good. It's a matter of how you look at things. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if I had to choose between being healthy but having my drug addictions or being sick and being free of it, I choose being sick. and being free of it.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's like with my situation and that, having to leave my job and stuff like that. I mean, I was in a downward downward. I can't say it. Downward spot.
Downward
Downward. Ay, spiral. As far as depression, anxiety, stress, all that stuff. I mean, it probably would eventually have just killed me, if not pushed me over the edge, as far as suicide or something like that goes, because I was pretty bad. I was also drinking more. I wouldn't say that I was totally in the danger zone with that, but I could have easily been in the danger zone. So as it started out, just a glass of wine here and there to going out every weekend, and so I'm glad now that it happened, because I am in such a better place, both spiritually and mentally. Even though pain sucks and all that wonderful stuff, but I'd rather be this way than how I was a couple years ago. So
I completely agree. And like I was saying before with the drugs as well, I was lucky that I hadn't tipped over the end yet, but I was very freaking close. I was starting to get very destructive with the drugs, and I was right on the precipice of tipping over. And then my health just went. And there were other circumstances that contributed to it at the time. But yeah, my Crohn's kind of started kicking in around that time. When I was about 21, and I got diagnosed, or like 20, 21, diagnosed about 22, 23. I don't remember. The years just blur together now.
Oh, I hear you.
I get asked it all the time. Like, I have a chronic health channel. I should at least remember. I can't even tell my doctors when I see a new doctor. So when were you diagnosed?
Me neither. You have to learn.
Very together.
Yeah, I mean, so I went over to the comment area here just to see what everybody's saying. Phil's having a bad day. If we can keep him in your prayers, he battles with depression and all as well. So if we can keep him, love, light, and prayer for him, that would be wonderful.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy. I love Phil. I love everybody on here. And let's see here. So Carolyn says that the truthers have been pushing self-reliant food sources. It's all bad, and they're in reality like 4 or 5 companies that supply everything in the grocery store. So in regards to what we were talking about with Bayer and stuff, there you go.
Yeah.
A lot of cereal companies I've been finding, I'm not going to, because I don't have like off the top of my head who they are, but they've been accused of putting like chemicals that you would put like weed killer and stuff like that in food.
Yep.
And that's just like, whoa.
Eating refined sugar in the quantities that we do is bad for you, let alone all the chemicals and crap they put on top of it. Mass producing, I'm getting my words mixed up now. You started something. Mass producing.
That's me every day, every moment.
What was I saying? Yes, mass producing animals and treating them like, like a conveyor belt, that's bad. That's bad for us as well,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's so much that, and do you know what? At the end of the day, guys, it's actually our fault.
It is.
It's the consumer's fault. We can blame Big Pharma, we can blame the supermarkets, we can blame the government, whatever.
We've allowed it.
Today, we made a demand that we wanted everything and we want it now. And because of that, they have to pump out foods that normally wouldn't be there in a different country, or foods that weren't part of that season. And they have to terraform parts of the planet to be able to get it through deforestation and polluting the soils and adding chemicals and doing all of that. So
Seedless cucumbers, seedless grapes, everything's genetically modified for our convenience.
Yeah, we don't like the look of apples, so they cover them in wax to make them look shiny and make them look more appetizing. It's our own fault, and that's the beauty of it as well. A lot of people go, "Oh, we can't change the system; it's too big." Like, well, actually, you can.
Yeah.
The way you do that is the way you shop. Literally, if we all en masse stopped buying meat, for example, we stopped buying red meat, they wouldn't keep selling it. A lot of people argue the point with me about that. They go, of course they would. And I'm like, no. They will not sell anything because it won't make any money. They're business people. That's why they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about what they put in it. That's why they don't care. It's business, it's money. And if we're not buying the product, they take it off the shelf. So you have the power to, if we all bought only organic, only local, only seasonal, only, those whole food, fresh foods and all of that, they would have to supply that. And that's what they would start doing. So it's up to us.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's exactly the problem. We could sit here and whine and cry about how we're being poisoned and blah, 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 but as long as we don't stand up and, I mean, just doing what you said, stop buying this and blah, blah, blah. Now, I know from another argument, though, is the prices that they charge for stuff that is better for you. So you have to get past that. In the long run, medical bills are going to be cheaper and everything else.
Well, also as well, look at it this way. If it's cheaper to mass produce something, then if we all start buying those foods that are a little bit more pricey, they'll start mass producing it and it will get cheaper to buy because there'll be more demand for it. When things are a bit more specialized, they don't throw as, or they have to put more time into it. They have to have specialist areas to grow it. They have to do a lot of laws and legislations. It takes longer to produce a product. Even if it's natural, it takes longer than just mass production and adding chemicals to make it grow quicker or make it look better. So yeah, again, if we can just deal with it in the interim, just for a little while, it won't take long, guys. I mean, literally, we could change the entire supermarket system within a month. That's all it would take if everyone or the bulk of Western societies did it, because that's where we're having this health problem, guys. I'm not hearing about Crohn's disease in China or in Japan or in India. They don't have Crohn's disease over there. It's very, very rare. I talk to someone from like the Middle East or from China or Japan that actually have Crohn's or an autoimmune disease. So it's something that Western society is doing. And it's our food. And it's our lifestyles. You can blame it on chemtrails. I'm not about blame. I'm about ownership. So if we all changed it would change very freaking quickly because they would lose tons of money. They would lose millions of dollars in wasted products. So they'd have to change it very fast. So it's up to us.
Well, here's a kicker for you. I can't remember what meat product it was, but my son was telling me yesterday, and he's not one to talk about this kind of conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
And he was saying that there must have been some kind of news thing about China sending, bless you, some kind of meat over that's got something bad in it. I wish I could remember what it was. So they may not be feeding their people that, but they're making sure they're feeding us that.
It's a funny old world, isn't it? Really is. But no, there's so much that needs to be addressed, and it has to start with the consumer.
Yeah.
It has to start. The big businesses aren't going to change. If they're making the cash, they're not changing shit. They're not doing anything. If they're making the money, they're not going to change a thing. It's up to us to change it. So you just, you'd have to accept that you can't have every kind of meat that you want. You can't have every fruit and vegetable at any time of year. It has to be seasonal. Even just buying seasonal fruit and veg, when you're buying it seasonal, it's cheaper to buy it because it doesn't take long to grow. And they're much, you look at grapes, for example, they're seasonal, and you'll see the difference when it's off season. They're smaller, they're thinner, You don't get the seedless ones, you know.
Mm-mm. Yep.
If we all started buying even just seedless, yeah, they even look better when they're in season.
They taste better. I had organic chicken, and oh my gosh, I will never go back.
I'm very lucky in Australia. We've got, I keep psyching people out with this, so I'm sorry if I do this to you. We have kangaroo meat. We eat kangaroos here in Australia. And it's some of the best meat you can eat because it's not farmed, no chemicals. Mind you, there's more kangaroos in Australia than there are people, just to stipulate that. They're very lean, so very good for your heart, very good for your blood, high in B12, high in iron. Some of the best meat you can eat. It's because it's not farmed and there's no chemicals and whatnot. It's literally they have hunters that go out. They have groups of people that go out and they are only allowed to hunt within a specific bracket of kangaroos. It's usually the older ones. It's usually maybe an old males or that sort of thing. Yeah, and then they hunt those, and it's actually really, really good meat for you. So I'd highly recommend that if anyone can get their hands on it. And it's not that expensive either. So
I've had ostrich before, and that is really lean and tastes great.
Again, not farmed.
Yeah,
it's not farmed, so there's nothing they're pumping into it to make it bigger. Like you go to the shops and you buy chicken breast, and you know the chicken breast that's modified. That's been modified so the chicken is much bigger than what it's supposed to be. So it gets the bigger breasts. Just stuff like that. They've been messing with our food for ages, and it's our own fault. We demanded it, so they supplied it. Not that they should have been poisoning our food. That you know, no,
and we can't control the skywriting, unfortunately, either. But we can control some things. So if we stand up that way, maybe it'll affect that. I don't know. But you are right as far as, you know, the consumers go, because we're basically giving them permission. So when you think about it, stop eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know?
Just stop. Just stop. If you want to see the change, you start making the change. You know, in Australia, we actually had, it was last year, we had an incident where this was a perfect example of what I just said. We had a bit of it's kind of like a strike especially in South Australia and whatnot. It actually spanned out throughout all the states, where we were all getting really angry that our farmers weren't getting a decent cut from the milk that they were selling, and they were getting ripped off and they weren't getting paid what they should have been paid. So for one day, everyone in South Australia, pretty much everyone, stopped buying milk. We didn't buy any milk as a protest. Yeah, as a protest. The next day, it was all over the news. People started doing it interstate. They had to drop milk prices down to like $1 for 3 liters of milk, and normally it's about $4 or $5 for 3 liters of milk. They were dropping it to try and sell it because it was going off. They had to throw out thousands of dollars of product. Because we protested, and it wasn't an aggressive protest. There was no fire and pitchforks. It's just none of us bought it. Went, no more. You need to be paying your farmers. And so Woolworths and Coles, we went, nah, we're not buying your milk. And literally the next day they had to drop all the prices. And now they're paying their farmers properly. You'll see it on all of the labels, how much they actually pay the farmers now. So that was one day in one state, and we're considered small in comparison to the rest of the country. We're one of the smallest population-wise. So, and we cost the, big, supermarket industry thousands of dollars in one day just because we didn't buy milk. So, yeah, little things, guys, little things. It does work. And now they're paying the farmers.
Wow. I'm sorry. I just read this comment that Carolyn said in the chat, and I'm just about ready to be like, bleh. I don't know if I want to share. She said, I stopped
kids as patties.
Yes. Gosh, I don't know how true that is, but that's disgusting. I mean, I knew their food was pretty processed, and the salt content is like super high, but oh my gosh, my husband and my son eat McDonald's all the time. I can't change them. I can only change myself.
Yeah.
And my son, he's like going to be 16. So you know how that is. And then my husband, I have his support as far as me, goes, but for him now.
Mm.
And he's got diabetes. So like if
Oh,
anybody
wow,
is to like really benefit from eating better, it would be him. Probably wouldn't have to do his injections anymore and all that stuff. But no, he doesn't listen to me.
That's why it's called a long pig. I thought they called human flesh like pig skin or something. No, am I got that wrong?
They use pigs when a lot of times when they're testing things for humans because we have very similar flesh and stuff like that. So
it's in there from a genetic level. Look it up. I freaked out, cried for days.
Oh my gosh. Well, maybe that'll get me to get my family to not eat that crap.
I'd highly doubt they're using missing kids, dude.
I'm sure there's something in it though that's bad. Oh my gosh. Who knows though? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, you want to think that they would never do that, but some of the horror stories that I've heard with things, it's like maybe it's true. You just don't know. Oh, it's just terrible. Terrible. Yeah. When it comes to children though, from all the other stuff we've heard in the news that I'm not going to mention because it gets your channel marked. Yeah, the kids, I hate it. I hate that they're hurt or anything happening to them on a physical, mental, or whatever. It makes me sick, but that's a whole other topic.
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. Prayers for Sharnie because she's going, well, I don't know how long she's going to be on there, but she's got another show or whatever she's going to be on that's like a live thing that goes on for like 9 hours. And it's like nighttime where she's at right now.
It's 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And it starts at 12:30 a.m. So it starts in just over an hour.
What a time difference, man, between us.
I know. That's why I do my live streams at 6 a.m.
Because it's 9:40 a.m. here. So it's just like craziness. Wow. Wow. To wrap my mind around that, because I'm in my own little bubble, my own little world here.
Yeah, I've never been so conscious of time zones ever in my entire life.
Right? YouTube will do that.
Yeah, I realize that now. I cracked 300 subscribers this week. I got 300.
I noticed when I was on there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a question for you. Do you find that your numbers like go up and down constantly?
Yeah, especially after I've been on another live stream where it's like a grow your channel sort of live stream or shout outs and all of that. It will spike and then it will drop and yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think they mess with it so that we don't hit 1,000.
I don't know. I think it depends on the kind of where you're getting the subscribers. So if you're on a stream where it's about growing the channel,
right?
Some people get prickly about, let's say, I always say to people, subscribe to the content you actually want to watch. You're not doing anyone a favor by just subscribing. We need watch time, we need likes, we need views.
Right.
That's what builds the channel and gets it on the algorithm. And so a lot of those ones, they have that sub for sub mentality. Like if they subscribe to me, I have to subscribe to them. It's like, no. So the second they learn that you're not subscribed to them, they'll just unsubscribe. So I think mostly, for me, my experience anyway, it's always within 24 hours of me going on another live stream that I'll notice that little drop. Yeah, so honestly, I don't stress about it too much. I try not to think about it. I just focus on my content.
Yeah, I get you. I just what made me think of that is I a lot of my subscribers are either from Edge of Wonder or Marfugal, especially Marfugal, because he's given me a few shout outs and stuff, and that's how I gotten a lot of my subscribers. And he had mentioned that 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 they'll do that with your subscribers. So you know, and I could see some dropping off if, you know, maybe they sub to you but they don't really watch you and they just start, you know.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past, you know. Not to anybody from Marfugal or anything, just like I had subbed to something and I'm like, why did I sub to that? Because it's really not my thing, you know. I don't really do it anymore because now that I put out videos, I get how important it is, you know. So, and I try to go in, especially like you and a whole bunch of other channels that I support, and at least hit the like button, even if I can't watch it.
That's what I do. That's what I do as well.
Yeah.
Even if I'm busy, I'll just pop on quickly, like, put a little comment going, "Hey, just showing some love and support. I'll catch you next time." Like,
yeah.
Comment.
Yeah, because I mean, we got us channels got to support each other, you know, because it's not going to be handed to us. So it's good to have that support because it's hard work doing a channel.
Yes, and, it is. It's incredible.
But all right, what I'm going to do is, because I'll be getting you off here so that you can get your bearings before you have to go on to your other thing. See if anybody has any questions for you. So I'm going to scroll back here. Oh my goodness, Phil. So check out, I'm not saying this out loud. Check out Phil's comment about pigs. He has a little green face near it. That's just awful. But I believe it.
Ew.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I'm totally checking out what Carolyn says. I'm going to research that for myself because, wow. But I'm going to tell my son and husband anyway, just so I can keep them from eating it. They'll probably believe me, though. They roll their eyes at me every time I tell them a new thing that, you know, these evil people are doing. And then they go, oh, whatever. My husband will believe me a little bit, but my son.
Yeah.
And what we were discussing before we came on here, I can't even talk about that at all.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's see. Wow. So Phil his time difference with you is even, because he's in the UK. So I didn't think that the time difference would be that much, but he says it's nearly 3 p.m. where he's at.
No. Caroline, yep, there's states that are trying to legalize it. Legalize what?
Where's that at?
Right down the bottom.
Okay.
What are they trying to legalize?
Let's see. Okay, so I said, yep, there are states that are trying to legalize it.
Well, she hasn't said what in particular.
Well, I know Phil said to Carolyn, I couldn't agree more, although my boys still live with their mom and still get to eat that stuff. She's saying legalize the stuff that they're putting in it.
Or bestiality. I wasn't quite sure which one she was going with.
Oh, bestiality.
Yeah, okay.
Ew.
Yeah,
Ew. I can't even.
That's where you lose me.
Yeah, I can't even wrap my mind around that. But I know that happens. In fact, I know a person's brother that did with a cat that was dead. So now you're talking bestiality and
necrophilia.
Necrophilia. That's just ew. There are some deranged people in this world, and to legalize the derangedness is like even more deranged.
They won't legalize that. They won't. They won't be able to justify. They won't be able to justify legalizing it. There's no freaking way.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff. I sure hope not.
Nah, they
doing it here. I could totally see them doing it here. This is one immoral country anymore. If I was outside of the U.S., I wouldn't want to live here.
Really?
Yeah. They don't. No, they act like they care. They don't care.
I still don't think they can get away with legalizing that, though. There would be a massive riot if people did. And yes, Dan, you did come in at a particularly odd time.
I think Dan could coming from his belief system, he could see what I'm talking about with the immorality here in the States.
Well, you don't even need a belief system. You just look at it and just go, "Hey."
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
No, I highly doubt they'll be able to legalize fucking animals. I highly doubt it.
Disgusting.
Like, yeah, it's on the same line. Yeah, it's animal cruelty. 1, 2, interspecies relationship is not a thing. I don't care who the frick you are or what psychology you want to throw at it. It's not a thing. They're not going to be able to do it. There's no way. There would be a massive riot, no matter how open-minded some people are or whatever. No one would legalize it. They wouldn't be game enough to, because of the backlash.
As far as the states go, because I can only speak for here, but I think if they pre-condition us enough, like other things that we've accepted here, it could happen. That's just my opinion, and I'm only speaking for the United States because I've seen some crazy stuff here, and I'm not going to name it off because I try to keep my channel as open as possible without offending people. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think you Aussies are a lot more tougher than we are.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. To be honest, I think a lot of us Aussies, we just don't give a fuck. We really don't. I'm trying to for example, before when she was saying like the kids, they're putting like lost kids in McDonald's burgers. I was like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. On to the next thing. Like literally, I didn't have a shock moment. I was like, okay, I don't think they're doing that. On to the next subject. Like it's a bit hard to shock one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things. We live in a country where, I had this conversation this morning on my live stream with another guy, Eric. He's from the YouTube channel Driven Industries. He came onto my panel to talk about mental health. And so we were talking about like how we eat kangaroos and how drop bears aren't a thing. We don't ride kangaroos to work, just for anyone that's wondering in the chat. Just in case you're wondering, and we were talking about the differences in the US and Australia, and it's literally we just don't give a fuck. And he was like, "Oh, what about all the poisonous animals?" I'm like, I get asked that all the time. There's the assumption there's like a poisonous, dangerous animal around every corner, and we've got to like be super aware of it. We're not. It's fine. We're fine. We're okay. I think that's maybe why we're so laid back. There's so much here that can kill us, so we just try not to worry about it. We just gotta get drunk at the pub, have a barbecue, and no, we do not put shrimp on the barbie. There is no shrimp. We do not say shrimp. It's prawns. It's prawns. Oh, I get asked that so much. You shrimp on the barbie? And no one says that. Not one Australian. There's not even a backwards country town in the middle of nowhere that says that. Believe me. I don't mind it. I don't mind a good ribbing. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone. Hi all the new people. I'm Sharnie. I'm from the YouTube channel That Crohn's Chick.
Hey, Face It Fearless. Hello. Nice to see you on here.
Awesome name for a channel.
Yes, it is. So,
I like that.
Does anybody have any questions for Sharnie before we get going? And I'll give them a little time.
what was that? Phil Arnold says, you and I could just drink tea and talk with Danielle. Yeah. Caroline says, what was the, y'all are badass because huntsman spiders, I cannot. Yeah, huntsmans aren't poisonous, but when they jab you, it fucking canes. It really
What is
hurts.
a huntsman spider?
A huntsman, it's like a big brown spider, and they tend to hang out in the garden. And huh?
Kind of like a recluse.
I'm not sure. Sort of chunky body, thinnish legs. Oh no, they can have bigger legs. Anyway, they're like a big plain brown spider, no venom, just pincers.
So it's a big sucker.
Yeah, they can get quite big. Probably
like
I don't know,
run off with your 2-year-old or something, or or small dog.
Yeah, only in Australia.
You guys have some animals that are pretty like the Wolverine and stuff, right?
Well, we have even our fuzzy, cute animals can kill you. Like I was talking about kangaroos today. Like, oh, so you guys just go up and pat a kangaroo? I'm like, no. If you see a kangaroo, you leave it the fuck alone. Because
they get. I was nervous at the zoo because we could walk inside the kangaroo enclosure, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if one of these decides it just wants to attack one of us? I do not want to be attacked by a kangaroo. But they
just want food. They just want they know they're going to get food from you, so they're again Australian. They can give them some food and they're happy. Simple. Welcome to Australia. Anyway, no, but a wild kangaroo. If you ever come to Australia, if you see a wild kangaroo, run. Run, okay? Because if you startle it or if you try and poke it with a stick like some idiots do, it's half the time a kangaroo is bigger than a human. They can get really big. Yeah. And if they kick you, they will aim for your chest and they can actually cave your rib cage in. Their kick is so powerful it can kill you. Yes. So leave the Australian animals alone.
Well, it looks like you have a question. Face It Fearless says that they missed the part where you talked about Crohn's, but would like to know how you control it, what kind of medicine that you take.
So the medication I'm on at the moment is relatively new. So it's called Humira. So it's a biologic medication. So it's made from stem cells of mice or pigs or something. I don't know. There's a lot of science there. I don't quite get it. But basically, the medication is designed to, how do I put it? All right, when you get sick, your immune system picks up and it starts creating antibodies to fight the illness. Once the illness is out of your system, the antibodies hang around, lessen a number, but it helps keep you immune if you get that illness again. With IBD, Crohn's disease and whatnot, unfortunately, imagine your body creating those antibodies, but to attack your guts. So it thinks your guts is a virus, it thinks the cells of bacteria in your gut is something bad, and so it's creating antibodies to attack your own body. And so, yeah, the medications you take are designed to stop the creation of those really bad antibodies and to give your guts time to heal. It's not a cure by any means. It's a stopgap to try and stave off surgery, basically. So I get the pleasure of jabbing myself in the stomach every 2 weeks. Yay!
Yay! My husband has to get shots every week. He puts shots in his belly. I don't like the medicine he uses because it can cause cancer and things like that. Beaver at Breezy TV says, does Humira really cause lymphoma?
It doesn't cause anything, guys. This is where you got to look at it, the medications very carefully. It doesn't cause it. It makes you more susceptible to getting it. So
Sjogren's does.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is because my immune system is being suppressed, if I get sick, my body won't fight it like a normal person would. It won't fight it anymore, and it won't fight it to the full extent that it should because it's being suppressed. So that's where that works with cancer as well. So if the cancer cells in my body start mutating out of control, normally your immune system would register that as an enemy and it would attack it. But my immune system's being suppressed. So that's where that part comes in. It doesn't cause it, from what I know, but then you should be really asking a doctor about this. It just makes you more susceptible to getting really sick.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's an immunosuppressant, right?
Yeah, exactly. Part of us say prawns. How do you get desensitized to scary, ugly spiders? They freak me out. Bigger, think wolf spider on steroids.
Yeah, they would like, no.
They mostly leave you alone. That's the thing. Like a huntsman will hang around in the corner of your house and they'll eat the bad spiders and they'll eat all the bugs. But there are some moments where they will, for some reason, go spastic and they'll be on your face or something. I've actually I had a friend of mine tell me that she was sleeping and she woke up because she could feel a huntsman crawling across her face.
Oh, hell no.
Mm-hmm. So there's a thing we have, a little sort of, it's not a secret, but it's just, a tip. When you go to bed at night, don't have an open glass of water next to your bed because you'll wake up to a huntsman just perching on the top trying to drink the water.
I'm not a spider fan, just so you know.
No, neither am I. No, dude, I'm phobic. I see a spider, I'm freaking out as well, just like the rest of us.
Well, I'm going past it. I mean, I'm letting them, like, if there's one on me, instead of me going, I'm actually letting it crawl on my finger and then putting it at, like, I haven't been really killing bugs, but I don't know how I could handle something like that on my face.
Oh, dude, if it was on my face, I would be hollering. You could hear me in the US. You'd be like, whoop, Sharnie, what was that? You'd hear me hollering all the way over there.
I had one on my forehead because I walked through. It was a big spider. I don't know what kind. I didn't care at the moment. I just wanted it off. It was stuck to my head, and I was screaming like somebody was murdering me. My husband actually came down the stairs with his firearm, thinking somebody was trying to kill me.
I've actually been stung by 2 spiders. I've been stung or pincered or bitten or whatever you want to call it. I think it's stung. I think is what they call it.
Do you have spider powers now?
No. I wish.
My husband's been bit twice by a recluse. Both times I prayed over him and he was healed. No kidding.
Oh,
and it went away. But no spider powers either.
Oh man.
I may have taken the spider powers from him. Who knows?
Oh yeah, you gotta let it run its course, man. Anyway, so I've been stung by 2. One of them was a huntsman, and my ex would tell the story funnier than I do, because at the time it wasn't funny. When I tell it now, it's freaking hilarious. Because I live in the city in Adelaide in South Australia. When I was with my ex, we lived in sort of the hills area, so lots of beautiful trees, lots of wildlife. I've even seen, I saw 2 koalas doing the mating ritual in some of the trees. There's a lot going on up in the hills. Anyway, we were out the front of his place. I don't know what it is. It's like the particular trees they had, the huntsmans just love hanging out in them. But you don't see them. They're up there doing their thing. They leave you alone. Until this one day where very randomly I got out of the car and my ex got out of the car and we're about to walk inside and I feel a boop. I feel something drop.
No.
And you don't even have to look and you know what's happened. You're like, oh, fuck no. I looked down. I think it was stunned because it just sat there. And my ex looks over. He's like, oh, no, because I'm super arachnophobic at this. When I was younger, I'm a bit better now. I'll try and catch them and take them outside. But I was super arachnophobic when I was younger. And so it just went, boink. So the way my ex would tell the story is Sharnie looked at it. It looked at her. Sharnie started screaming. The spider started screaming. There's, and I literally just went, I grabbed it. And I grabbed it very loosely. I just went, blah, just to fling it off. And it got me just as I went to grab it. And so I threw it off and it was okay. But oh man, it was like being stabbed in the shoulder with a needle.
Oh my gosh.
That pained. Again, not poisonous, so I was perfectly fine.
Thank God. Oh.
Yes, but I have been bitten by the second spider I got stung by was a whitetail. Do you guys know what those are? A whitetail spider?
No.
So This spider is particularly nasty. It's a little black spider with a white strip on its butt. And this one will actually come after humans, and it won't kill you necessarily. What it does, it will get you, and it will cause the cells in your body to die. It causes necrosis in your cells in the area, and it will spread out. And
recluse does.
Yeah, so it's probably very similar. So as it spreads, some people that are allergic to the venom, it'll completely, you see it take over the body. For me, luckily, I wasn't. I just lost the top of a fingernail and all of that. I lost a nail, and, you know, I was okay. But, yeah, it was like 3 months of constant nerve pain because the venom was trying to eat away at the nerves and the skin and all of that.
No. Heck
yeah,
no.
So
heck
just
no. Heck no.
Yeah, so those are the 2 spiders. I have been stung by a huntsman, just so everyone knows.
I'm not jinxing myself, so I'm not saying a thing.
I'm reading the comments. This is brilliant. That sucks, Sharnie. I bet the deep state is behind that too. Injections. No, I am needle phobic. I used to hate needles when I was younger. Now I get them every week. I could honestly care less. Just get it over with. Yep. Have fun finding a vein.
I went to school for blood and EKGs, so you get over that fear quick. I used to pass out. You get over that fear quick when you have to be stuck a lot.
Yeah. And my mum used to have to come with me and hold my hand, and not like that anymore. I'm okay with spiders, crocs, snakes, sharks. A blue ring octopus is enough for me. We have a lot of poisonous animals here. Yeah, we have some pretty big wolf spiders in our woods behind our house. Yeah.
This is for Junior real quick. Just the show on because he asked about my art the other day. So, hi, Junior. I just did that.
Awesome. I have a rule when it comes to bugs. They have the whole big wide world outside. I have this small. I'm the same. Just not in my house. I'll leave you alone out there. You leave me alone in here. That's it. Like a recluse, is it a form of black widow? No, it's not a black widow. Yeah, not quite.
My whole picture didn't show up, so I threw it in there just in case you guys see me hold it up again. I saw the delay, and I was like, oh, could hardly see it.
Yeah, not too thrilled about these spiders. Yuck, sorry, guys. I cried the identification book. It's all good. Beautiful. Hi, thank you, Celestial, for showing your artwork. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to show a couple more things before we go. If you have to leave, Sharnie, now, it's fine.
I'm all good.
But
I've got an hour.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to show you guys. Let me just go back to so that way I can see it when it goes up. So here's some new pieces I made that are going to be on my Etsy shop. So you could see, you know, where it sits. See, a little backwards. Okay. And it's made out of polymer clay. And then I have a sun and moon one. And then I have another moon one, which is horizontal. So if you like the celestial stuff. And this is more of, it'll sit like right here. Let's see if you could see it better there. Then I have these little thingies here. And if you see it, ta-da! And that's, you know, it's smaller, so. And a couple more. I like this one. This one has a semi-precious rock. And then this is just a plain like rose, and it's kind of got like some gold shimmer in there. And I think that's it. I just wanted to show you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Here's this one. Did I show this one? I don't know. This one's another just kind of plain. It's kind of got like a greenish neutral color. So I'll put my Etsy shop in the detail screen in case you guys are interested or know anybody that might be interested. And that's my new stuff. I have not put it up yet on Etsy, but I have taken the pictures to go put it on Etsy. So hopefully I'll get that done today. All right. So that is about it. Just make sure that there's no other questions, and then we can go ahead and get going. So, oh, thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you, Face It Fearless. Thank you, Nightblade. Yes, I do have 2 Etsy shops. I've been kind of ignoring the other one. I need to get back over there, and that one's more steampunk kind of stuff.
Nice.
Thank you, Junior, for the compliment. You know who's a really good artist as well? She's really impressive, is Sharnie.
Oh, thank you.
And she's writing a book, just like I'm writing a book. She's doing much better than I am because I just put like a little bit more stuff in it, Sharnie, and I haven't
done anything in like a month on my book. I've been so busy with YouTube. I haven't done anything else. My whole life has been on hold while I'm doing this stuff. So
I find that there's no time in the day for everything you want to do, you know, because I love to draw, I love to make jewelry, and then you have to like keep up with the Etsy shops and everything. And then you know, I like meditating because it's making me feel better. So I make sure I put at least an hour of that in there because sometimes I can go an hour. And then I love to read and I love to, paint and draw. And it's like, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, and make music because I've been doing little videos of music that I'm making.
Yeah.
There's no time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No time. I need to like educate myself or something. I don't know. All right. Well, guys, we're going to head on out. Thank you. Happy Friday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I don't know. What day is it for you over there, Sharnie?
It's Friday. It's 20 minutes and then it'll be Saturday.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. So this is Danielle and Sharnie, Celestial Piper with Soldier of the Watch. I should have the link for that Crohn's Chick channel in there. So if you're not subscribed to her, go over there and subscribe. She's on like almost every day. Am I correct? And sometimes more than once a day.
Depending on, sometimes I have a schedule and other people have work or they can't quite get to it. So I do a normal live stream and then I'll add an extra video later on in the day. See how we go.
Well, you're definitely on more than I am. So, go over there, check out her channel, especially my Fugel family and my Edge of Wonder family. But I mean it to all of you for the Celestial Piper family. Go over and show Sharnie some love and let her know how we do things.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I'm sure I'll have Sharnie on again. She is like my new bud. So I absolutely adore all of you. I love you. Much love. Peace. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye, everyone.
Now to get it back up because I'll get the hang of this.